Hey, what's going on, guys? It's David here from Genzio. We are in Denver, Colorado for ETHDenver. I'm with Itai from Dynamic. We just wrapped up a fantastic interview. We spoke about Dynamic, what they're building, MPC, his perspective on stablecoins, purchasing a wallet for maybe a newborn, getting them ready for the future. The fact that he doesn't like Reese's, but I do. I hope you guys enjoy the interview, and I look forward to hearing your response. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's David here from Genzio. We're in Denver, Colorado for ETHDenver. I am here with Itai from Dynamic.
Hey, everyone.
Itai, I would say it's nice to meet you, but
Yeah,
we've already met.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In a cooler city. I like Denver, but in a cooler city in Bangkok.
Bangkok is cool, man. It is
Yeah,
cool.
it is cool.
Now, how's ETHDenver been for you?
It's been awesome. I am exhausted, as I'm sure everyone, as you are as well. But it's been really great. It's been, we feel like this is our third year also having a booth in ETHDenver. And every year, the percent of people that show up that know what Dynamic does is higher, which I think is good progress. So it's been really effective. We got to meet really good folks. It's been good.
Okay, man. Cool. And how many times have you been to Denver just in general to hang out?
In general, I've been here probably 10, 15 times.
Okay.
It's a fun spot. I always miss going skiing after this, so I'm not going skiing this year, which is very sad. But it's a cool spot, besides the airport being 45 minutes away.
It's true. But actually, I don't know if you went to Korea. It seems because Korea is so far away.
Right. Yeah.
From the airport, this seemed a little bit close.
That's true.
In comparison.
That's true. There's also, I heard there's like a rumor about an underground nuclear bunker or something under the airport. I don't know if that's true, but
might be for the elite, but
yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe we're not invited.
Well, not yet, at least.
Not yet. One day.
Yeah. They actually have one of those in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's for Teslas.
Interesting.
The Tesla tunnels.
Oh, cool.
Now, I may be wrong. I don't know if they're specifically Tesla tunnels, but we recently went to CES and we totally got to experience the tunnels.
Oh, nice.
In Vegas.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You drove a Tesla through there?
I didn't personally drive it. There's a driver. So you go downstairs, you get in the, you pick your destination by standing in a certain bay.
Oh, nice.
Downstairs.
Okay, cool.
And they go in different directions. And you can get, because Vegas is like, I don't know if you've been to Vegas.
Yeah.
So, maybe sometimes it's difficult to cross the street or get, maybe you got to get somewhere real quick. Hop in the Tesla. That goes pretty quick. So it's quite convenient.
That's awesome. Okay. I'll try that out next time.
Nice, man. And so let's get to it. I know you guys got a lot of new stuff going on since last time we talked. So here we are now. Yeah. And we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I can share a little bit more about is something that we announced this week called MPC Embedded Wallets. I can share a little bit more about that. The very short version for those that don't know, first what Dynamic does, we essentially do everything that has to do with kind of interacting with wallets. Right, so if you're a developer and you're building a crypto type experience, you need a wallet, right? The wallet is the way you interact with the blockchain. That can be an external wallet like a MetaMask or a Phantom, or that can be an internal wallet like a login with email or a Google, and then we generate a wallet in the background. Now it's pretty seamless. So if someone goes into a site that's used by a developer that leverages Dynamic, they log in just like they would to a Google or anything like that, and they get a wallet in the background. They don't know about it. But wallets secure money, and so we spend a lot of our time thinking about, okay, what is the best route to secure that wallet? We used to use one technology called trusted execution environments, and now we essentially introduced what I'm about to in a second go into detail on, which is what's called an MPC wallet. It's a different tech for securing these keys. Yeah, I can explain a little bit more about what MPC is, and then which might be relevant, and then we can dive in. But really, crypto is based on this very simple structure again, which is wallets, and wallets are really inherently what's called a private key, a secret that I know, and a public key, a thing that I can share. Right. So when you want to send me money, I give you my public key or a part of it. You send that money, I get that, and only I can unlock that money with my private key. Right, so I have a private key. We see this a lot. If you ever generated a MetaMask wallet or a Phantom wallet, you got a seed phrase. That is a private key. That is a mnemonic phrase that unlocks your wallet, right? So you have to secure that, right? So if you generate a MetaMask wallet, they give you the seed phrase. You have to store it. You have to write it offline. And if you lose it, you're pretty much done, right? The name of the game is how do you secure that private key? Yeah. There are multiple technologies to do that, but the best one is essentially not having a private key at all. right? And that's where MPC comes in. MPC is essentially this tech that allows us to split, or not really split given a key doesn't exist, but create multiple shares or multiple parts of a key. You own one as a user, I own the other as dynamic. And only when we coordinate and collaborate can we sign a message and sign on behalf of the private key. But you do it in a way where I don't know your part and you don't know my part. And so only by working together can something happen. So if you get hacked, private key isn't stolen because they don't know my part. If I get hacked, private key isn't stolen because they don't know your part. So it's this really fancy tech. It has a bunch of like magic math, I would call it, that lets you secure assets and secure private keys.
Okay. Now, what does NPC stand for?
It stands for multi-party computation. So the actual name is actually even longer, just to make it more complex, and bore everyone out of existence. But it's really, the full name is what's called TSS-MPC. So Threshold Signature Multi-Party Computation. And that stands for two things. Multi-party computation means that me and you collaborate, and potentially one more person, in order to compute something, right? Threshold signature means that what percent of people in the collaboration have to be there in order for something to work. So let's say you get a share of a key, I get a share of a key, someone else gets a share of a key. Threshold signature says, well, only two of us are required. Oh. So I sign, you sign, and that's enough. The third person doesn't have to do it. So it's this really fancy kind of combination of two things, of threshold signatures, of kind of what percent, and we call this on the technical side a 2 out of 2. So 2 users out of 2 shares, 2 out of 3, 2 users out of 3 shares, 3 out of 5, etc. But at the very basic level, it's like dictates what percent of folks need to participate in this multi-party computation, which is MPC.
Okay.
Yeah. Very technical, I know, very like low-level stuff. The actual why this all matters is just if you created a wallet, it can have money and it needs to be super secure, and you should not really care about it, but you should just sleep well at night. And it's our responsibility to actually help you secure those assets, and that's where this tech comes in. So very exciting for us. I really hope no one else cares about this in a year or 2 or 3.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nice, man. Nice. Now I know we wanted to touch a little bit on stablecoins.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah. So what we've seen. So again, Dynamic generates wallets for folks, right? When I want to transfer money from one side of the ocean to another through crypto, through Solana, through Base, or through whatever, I need wallets on both sides.
Yeah.
Right. So we see a lot of these use cases of stablecoin money transfer. Right, and some of the use cases we're starting to see a lot of is kind of the global version of Venmo, right? So today in Venmo I can transfer money, or PayPal PayPal is global, but with Venmo I can transfer money within the U.S. But if I want to send money to my sister in Israel, I really can't do that, right? We're starting to see startups that let me do that by essentially having my app here, my sister having her app in Israel, and using crypto rails and a wallet here and a wallet there, transferring money, right? It doesn't have to be Ethereum. It can be stable coins, right? So it's about me paying back for dinner or whatever, or for a present that she bought on my behalf for my dad, who ironically has a birthday today.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Dad. So great. If we got nothing else away from this podcast, happy birthday. The cool thing is that we're starting to see these use cases where wallets fit in, right? And so we're starting to hear Web2 companies that don't care about crypto just saying, hey, this is a more efficient way for me to move money globally.
Yep.
Right? And then you start seeing this second order effect, which is I am in Turkey, right? There's high inflation. I don't necessarily trust the banks. So I want to keep my money in dollars, right? So if someone pays me from the US, I can get that money in stablecoins, keep that in a wallet in a stablecoin, and get exposure to treasuries, right? Get exposure to the U.S. market, buy real estate, right? So there's a lot of these really interesting use cases that crypto all of a sudden opens up, and we're fortunate to see those early on.
No, it definitely has been a topic of discussion. at ETHDenver, specifically for me, right, as Genzio as a whole is moving forward, we're growing, we're saying, hey, we need to take on different avenues as well.
Yeah.
And it ties right into what you're saying. Projects from Web 2 are starting to realize, hey, probably necessary to take on some traits.
Exactly.
Web 3.
Exactly.
And, us personally, we see ourselves as one, marketing and media, right? We can do that, yes, for a project, but also we can be a bridge for these projects to get their foot in the door in Web 3.
100%.
And, take a project that's in Web 2, introduce them to Dynamic, for example.
That's right.
And become a bridge. So it's definitely something that's inevitable. And it's a matter of time when they want to get accustomed to what's coming.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And we're really a complexity abstraction company.
Yeah.
Right. And we're in the business of removing as many crypto terms from your life as possible. Okay. Right. So everything we talked about, TSS-MPC, I really hope besides like the 5 people listening that get excited about math, no one else should really care. Right? They should care about the result, which is you can use these crypto rails without really caring about crypto, and you can do it in a really secure way.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we're trying to optimize for. I really hope that in 2, 3, 5 years, run-of-the-mill developers can just implement crypto rails without really caring about this. Just like they implement Stripe and they don't know anything about how ACH works.
Yep.
Or they implement Plaid and they don't know anything about how banking works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's also another thing that we've been discussing like so much with everybody that's really came here is like, one thing I see from an outside perspective, looking on builders, right, like yourself, I mean, it's like we want to get to a point where people like, your father, also happy birthday again.
Happy birthday again.
Or my mother or my father, right, they can use blockchain without knowing that they're using blockchain, right?
That's exactly right.
It's just kind of like almost like traditional finance.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That if we kind of say that the next crypto app you're probably, or my dad or your parents will interact with, is likely a current app that they already have on their phone that all of a sudden enables crypto.
Yeah.
So that is much more likely than them downloading a crypto app.
Yeah.
Right? It's just about enabling what they currently do in a better way.
Uh-huh. Right? I mean, and I see it firsthand, right? Like I see people playing games on their phone and they don't even know that they're collecting
exactly
tokens, right?
That's exactly
so I think that's like the first step, right? Or maybe not the first step, but a simple step, right, towards what is coming, right? People are playing games, collecting tokens, earning rewards. And I mean, it's like, I hate to shout out Starbucks. I'm not shouting them out because I'm a Sonics fan from Seattle. But I mean, like now Starbucks is starting to do something on blockchain.
Yeah.
We have Walmart, and it's like Costco, Walmart, McDonald's, like
exactly right.
I mean, it's coming.
Exactly right. We see a bunch of payment companies thinking about both how to accept crypto as payment and then use crypto in the background for moving money.
Yeah.
Or settling.
Yeah. And one of our good friends, Black Opal, a group, right? They are a international luxurious, travel experience concierge, if you will. And now they are deciding, hey, we need to become crypto friendly.
Yeah.
Because we know it's coming.
100%. 100%. There's always the use case of buying a Rolex with crypto.
Yeah.
Right? That would always exist. But I'm with you. I think it's the crypto. Saying crypto is sort of like saying I work at the internet, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's like a bunch of things, right? So I really hope that if you fast forward a few years, they're no longer crypto conferences, it's just like fintech conferences or just regular run-of-the-mill conferences, and each one has its own folks that leverage crypto technology to accomplish things in a better way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely, man. Lovely. Now, outside of MPC, is there anything else new about Dynamic that you'd like to share?
Yeah. So our focus is, again, abstracting away as much of this complexity.
Yeah.
Right. So one more place where we're spending our time is what we call on-ramps and off-ramps.
Okay.
Right. So essentially at the very basic level, it literally just means I've created a wallet for someone. How do I get money into that wallet and out of that wallet? And so for folks kind of that are interested, they can go to our site and start playing around with all the different ways, credit card, debit card, ACH, external wallets, etc., that you can get money into a wallet or out of a wallet. We're going to spend a lot more time there so that, again, the next Venmo that's being built or the next kind of, Shopify that's being built can use these rails, but folks can still use their credit card or debit card to pay on the other side of the world with very low fees in a very quick way. Right? So that's another place where we're spending a lot of our time.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I think, last time we spoke in Thailand, we touched on history of dynamic, how dynamic the name is in itself.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of ask what have been some hurdles we've had to face, right?
Yeah.
Obviously the market is volatile,
Yeah.
depending on the route you want to go. And I want to know, like, how have you guys been able to kind of go about that?
Yeah, so I think we actually don't pay attention to the market that much.
Yeah.
In the sense that we think about crypto on the technology side. If you were to ask me right now what the price of Ethereum is, for the life of me, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't care. It's not my focus, right? We very much focus on the technology side. That has seen continuous growth, right? A place where we'll need to work together as an industry is, I think, regulations are still a little bit unclear. As an example, for stablecoin to stablecoin, there's at least a few countries, I think India is one of them, if I recall correctly. I hope I'm not butchering this, where you still pay 1% in fees on stablecoin to local currency conversion, which is weird because it's just a fee on because it uses crypto, right? So we need to start solving these types of things in order to start really getting things like global payments up and running at scale. So I as an industry, some of the challenges we've faced is really just clarity around regulation. I think there are a lot of very good actors in the space that just want to follow regulation, just want to do right. As a good example, FinCEN has a 2019 regulation around non-custody that specifically mentions MPC, right? So that's a very good indication for us that, hey, this is a good route that we're going because it aligns with regulation, right? So just continuous clarity solves so many problems for folks, helps build awesome businesses.
Okay. Now, one thing I want to do is, for example, I have a niece and a nephew.
Okay.
And I'd love to hear about your opinion on this. How important do you think it is for me to, like, let's say for their birthday,
Yeah.
rather than get them candy or get them a gift that they might break or
Yeah.
outgrow or anything, how important is it to start a wallet for them?
I think, look, I think about it in the sense, even outside crypto, of the one free lunch in finance is like compounding, right? Like compounding is like the magical part of finance, right? So inherently, regardless of whether it's crypto or not, I'm very much for the putting money aside for, I have two kids, putting money aside for kids and just letting it grow, right? That is a gift that continues giving, right? They'll be significantly happier at age 18 discovering that they have a bunch of crypto versus, the marginal value of the candy, right? And so, although candy is cool, but,
Sweets or chocolate?
I just do chocolate.
I'm with you.
The other is too much complexity.
Yeah.
Like Reese's is interesting, but
Wow,
besides
Reese's is my favorite.
okay, fair enough.
And I live in Spain, and there are no Reese's there.
Oh, that's a problem.
I always bring them back.
You should pivot to an import business. Yeah, that's maybe the next thing. But to your point, like, so I think about it more as a compounding. Do I think asset classes grow over time? In general, yes, unrelated to crypto, right? So compounding is just like a magical thing. So whether it's putting money in S&P 500 or putting money in crypto, and just forgetting about it.
Yeah.
That's, I think, I like that approach. Again, to each his own. Not financial advice.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your time in Denver, and I hope this trip goes fantastic for you. I know we will be seeing you at many more events, probably be doing more interviews as well.
Fair enough.
Maybe with someone else from the team as well. I know you shouted out before, but where can we follow you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, thank you again for having us. These are
you.
always like a blast of conversation, so I appreciate the time. Where to find us? You can find us on www.dynamic.xyz. You can look at our docs on docs.dynamic.xyz. Follow us on Twitter, dynamic_XYZ. You can yell from the rooftops, we might show up. And that's pretty much it. Those are the ways to find us.
Cool, man. Itai.
Very cool. Thank
Pleasure,
you so
brother.
much.
Again, thank you.
Brought to you by Hedera and Foresight Ventures.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Gen Z is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a hive.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get back at the Gen Z Media House.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.